Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here once again. It is time for Back in Bicep Day, and I started with pull-ups. You know, part of me has been wanting to do chin-ups. I'm like, biceps, biceps, biceps. But you know what? I have to think about my other big goal, because I can just do more curls. I have to think about my other big goal of the shoulder health, okay? And when we look at the data, all the different pull-up variations, shoulder width, overhand grip pull-ups, tend to strengthen and stabilize the shoulders more, the most rotator cuff development like the infraspinatus. They're also the lowest risk of impingement. So if I'm going to just be realistic, that's what I need to do. And I need to focus on the dead hang. I need to focus on getting a good range of motion with that grip, even though if I don't try to go to the top, because I can't in that position anyways, with a really wide grip, I can do a lot more weight. We've seen me do it. But at this point, it all still grows my back. My lats grow from anything heavy or hard that I do. They're going to grow. I can use the seal rows as a main back builder. This will still build my lats. So realistically, I have to keep to that goal and say what back exercises are going to be best for my shoulder health, what back exercises are going to help with my shoulder mobility, and which ones are going to let me do more squatting and deadlifting at the moment, because I want to increase my volume on both. I already did deadlifts this week. I want to start adding more squat volume in and start taking that up. So this stuff makes sense. The pull-ups like this, they absolutely make sense. Yes, I can't do as much weight, but it still works my lats equally effectively, and I can work on those other things that I want. All right, same thing. Seal rows will build the hell out of my back. And I got PRs on this today. I got 5s with this weight last time I tried to do. I went to 8 with 20 pounds lighter last time, but I got 6, and then I took a set all the way and got 8 reps on the last one. Hey, that's a PR on a seal row. I've never hit 225 for 8 before. I got it today. So that's a good place to be in. So I look at this and go, okay, if we're going to do the stuff that's going to improve that ability to lock out the most, stabilize my shoulder, get to where I can overhead press for a full range of motion. Again, that's a high priority for me and my goals. Getting that shoulder mobility completely restored. I need to think of my whole workout in terms of that. All my exercises, if I have to look at it, they're going to have a positive or a negative effect there, okay, or a neutral effect. And if I always have that choice, I always need the positive benefit. So again, makes sense to do this. So this is what I did. And then, like I said, the seal rows, probably a more neutral effect, but they do build my lats in my upper back. Then my final one, I really wanted to focus a little more on the upper back. This is an exercise I've done. I've prescribed for many clients. It's an exercise I've done a little bit on camera in the past. And I'm like, let's do this, because I even saw, interestingly enough, of all people, I saw the other day, Stephanie Cohen, who has a PhD in physical therapy, even using this exercise for improved shoulder health and shoulder mobility for people with some shoulder issues. So it makes sense. Like when you look at it, it's a good choice. But it also gives me a third angle, right? So again, I have a vertical pull. Then I have a purely horizontal pull. So then this takes me to quite a different angle. Even if I did a one-arm dumbbell row, the angle is similar to the seal row. Now this takes me to more upper back focus. Also takes me to working all that extension and working all the scapula, all of that stuff, because again, that stretch forward, that rolling the shoulders forward, and then we extend all the way up will help build the entire trapezius. This is a phenomenal trap exercise, by the way, and rear delt exercise. Right? This actually is just a great all-around exercise there. We can't do much weight. I mean, I'm literally using 68-pound dumbbells. I got like 12, and I couldn't get past 10. The final set, I got to 10 reps, and that was it. I just couldn't get any more. So 10 to 12 reps even with this weight. And that's so light compared to what I normally do on stuff. All right? Because even those seal rows, I did 225 for 8. And those are from a strict. There's no cheating on that. So again, this one continues to build all that. Also helps with that upper back, which will help then with a thicker shelf for squatting up there a little bit more. But also potentially good for that same shoulder health and mobility. Then I did my dumbbell curls, my alternating dumbbell curls. I PR'd these, by the way. I had some people say, well, Jason, you haven't been PRing much on some of the arm exercises. Don't we need progressive overload? The answer is yes, but it takes time. I managed to get it today. All right, I've been getting 8 reps with this weight. I managed to get 9. I was surprised. Oh, I got to 9. And then the final set, I'm like, let me squeeze it. Let me see if I can even get to 10. And I managed to get to 10. Now, I like these because they work all the functions of the bicep. And it's not to say that, really, if we want to talk about development off of not working these other functions, just an incline curl plus a preacher curl actually is a great combination. But I do like these alternating curls. I really, really like these a lot. I could make the case for combining the other two, by the way. But I really like this exercise because it lets me freely rotate these things, right? I can go from that hammer grip up to a supinated grip. Now, I could probably do that with incline curls, though, to be fair, if I really wanted. So that could be an option. It's something to think about. And I could try to do that same thing on an incline curl. And that's actually a really good exercise. I normally just do them completely with a supine grip, but that could be worth doing. So if I really want to think about it, that's something I could add to my repertoire. All right, and I very well might start doing that. Okay, I very well might start doing that, especially combines well with the preacher curl when you look at the functions and making sure we get full bicep and then full brachialis and radial brachialis. Again, good combination, but I just did these standing again today, alternating. I do really like this exercise. I feel like it's great. I feel like it brings a lot to the table because of working all three functions concurrently. Okay, and it looks good on camera. But if we're going to talk about efficiency, I need to step back and go, do I really have to have it look the best on camera? Not necessarily. My banded curls will do the same thing anyways. If I want to have one standing up and me looking all jacked. Banded curls at the end will do the same thing. I can still get that footage in since I'm going to probably do them anyways. Just something to think about. Same thing with these. I almost was like, I could just do these standing because when it forces me into that preacher type position with it out front, it looks really good. These don't look as good. I don't look good, but it's like irrelevant. Certain point I go, do I want better biceps or do I want to look good while rolling with the camera, And I've got to watch that. We do have a tendency sometimes to do that when everything is vlogged. Of now, am I just trying to look better in front of the camera? Or do I need to get the best possible workout and get that last 1%? Yeah, I should probably work on getting more jacked, right? Should probably work on actually building the biceps most effectively. So these, I PR'd this also. I went up in the weight of hair and managed to get 2 sets of 8, but I stopped. At this point, my biceps were destroyed, by the way. My biceps were destroyed. I couldn't handle it. They felt almost like they were going to tear. So I'm like, this is like probably not literally, but the eccentric on this and that stretch, it really, 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 really hit them hard. So I'm like, okay, 2 sets, I'm done. This is 5 heavy sets of curls. I PR'd this stuff, both these exercises pretty much. So I'm like, I'm done. Let me just go to bands and let's just take some sets of band curls to failure and just burn the hell out of my biceps, right? So that's what I did. Did 2 sets of band curls with this, got over 20 reps. I'll just call it 20 plus. They were all over 20, but up to about 25-ish. So again, with these, the idea, we get that extra benefit to the tendons. And then we also get a contracted position movement. That peak contraction we're not always getting on these others to the same degree. So it adds a different performance element. We get the perks of the bands, the extra blood flow, potential blood flow to the tendons. I like high rep band work for tendon health. So again, just a really good finisher to get some deep metabolic fatigue. And then see, I get the same benefit of the other standing there looking pretty jacked, contracting against those bands, because I get a pump doing it, the shoulders get all jacked, everything looks good, right? Everything looks good. That waistline gets a little tighter, I lose some more fat from the fasted cardio and everything, we'll be in a good place. It's gonna be holding a little more because I'm eating a lot of carbs now and all that brown rice, but it will eventually come down. If I just lose more fat, it'll be okay. But really happy with today's workout. I feel like it was very productive towards my goals. Overall goals, not just the back and biceps with the shoulder health. I got some PRs on some movements, so that's a good thing. We're seeing progressive overload. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.